We had to talk about something. Do you ever wonder why there's some Shopify stores and businesses that effortlessly keep growing, but there's other ones like maybe yours that are stuck, they're stagnant? And by the end of this video, you at least have a foundation of what are the 3 growth levers that you can use for your business, and how can you take those and use those 3 strategies to put your ideas into? Because chances are you'll probably have the right ideas, but you're doing too many of the same that are for the same lever, so you're not allocating them across the business properly. So mastering these growth levers can be a game changer. I remember when I first learned about these, it was from somebody named Drew Sanaki. He had run Karma Loop, Auto Anything, and ultimately his job was to come in and help turn around businesses. He would come in and specifically for e-commerce brands, help turn them around, and he focused on these 3 crucial growth levers. I remember taking his course on CXL, which was like this course platform back in the day. It's no longer around, but he explained these 3 growth levers, and they are acquiring customers, boosting AOV, average order value, how much someone spends when they buy with you, and increasing purchase frequency. So how many times somebody buys in a given period. So say we look in a year span or a 90-day span. How many new customers do we acquire? How many times does that person come back and buy again? And how much do they spend with us on average? Focusing on these 3 growth levers, just doing each of those by 33%, by increasing them, you will effectively have doubled the business. And so practically speaking, we'll get into the first one, new customers. For this one, you're going to want to focus on bringing down cost to acquire a new customer. So this is really looking at how much do I spend on marketing divided by how many new customers do I get, looking at Shopify. So that's it. Obviously pretty straightforward one. If you are starting out and you're not spending any money on marketing, I would recommend first focusing on seeding product and talking to influencers. That's obviously going to be the easiest one. Ideally finding the people who fit your brand and then figuring out how much product do we give to them so that they share it. And I usually see about 25% of people who you'll seed stuff to make content that you can then use from there. Then next one is increasing average order value. And this video isn't meant to be exhaustive on every single thing you can do within each of these. That's what this channel is for, so I can go deep on these. I just want to give you the 3 growth levers. Next one is increasing average order value. This one's going to be upselling, cross-selling, and bundling. That is how you get people to spend more in a single session shopping with you. Rebuy is the app I recommend for that, but ultimately that one is great because you're able to take the same session that somebody's already having on your website and have them spend more, and it's a win-win. It's helpful for them, helpful for you. Usually I see from an average order bump for post-purchase is people want to buy more of what they already got, so you give them another one at 10% off. So they bought a bag of coffee, give them a second bag, 10% off for the same flavor. What I do see for pre-purchase, so meaning like they add to cart, what is the thing that we should sell with them? It's usually like completing the look or adding on an accessory. And then in the cart, it's other stuff that goes as well with the product. Cross sells there. Upsell is going to be considered something like you bought the small coffee and then you want the large cup. That is something you might go for the upsell. So instead of a 12-ounce bag, you do a 24-ounce bag or a 2-pound bag or a 5-pound bag, whatever is the next tier up. And then ultimately, these 3 growth levers, before I get to the last one around boosting purchase frequency, so the amount of time somebody buys, these 3 growth levers, they have a lot of things you can do within each. I've actually created a free course that you can go through in the link below. You can sign up for free. It's an email course that I deliver in 5-minute bite-sized lessons that goes all the way in depth. And it comes on day 1, I'll send you this sheet that basically allows you, it has all the tabs of the 9 key flows for emails. It has a bunch of templates and tools in it around figuring out how much you can spend to acquire a customer for new customers. And it breaks down each of the 3 growth levers and how you can effectively create a plan to double your revenue in 90 days. So if that's something that's interesting to you, boosting and doubling your revenue for your Shopify store, I specifically designed it for stores that are under $1 million because I had worked with a lot of brands that were over that. And that's a different game. I would say like over 3 to 5 million is a different game. But when you're under $1 million and you're over like 250 to 300,000, like you're in that range, the course is basically designed for you. I feel like those people don't need to hire like an expensive agency or anything like that. I just wanted to truly help as many of them as I can, because I believe that when you help these businesses, it actually boosts our economy and it changes the lives of many families and people who are getting their products, versus if they're spending all their money on agency fees and things like that, and those businesses ultimately cease to exist. So last one is boosting purchase frequency. So boosting purchase frequency just looks like how many times somebody buys in a given period. So if we're looking at a 90-day window and we wanted to double revenue in 90 days, on average, a customer may buy 1.2 times. That means everyone buys once and then 20% come back and buy again. And so what that looks like is, how do we boost that by 30%? That looks like getting people to come back and buy again. The most tactical thing that I've found for that is segmenting your Klaviyo list. So if you aren't using Klaviyo, I'd recommend using that for email. Basically segmenting that Klaviyo list out and looking at people who bought one time, exactly one time, all time, and then looking at all customers all time. And then you can see how many one-time customers do you have and what percentage of that is to the total. So say we have, for easy math, 100 customers all time ever. Say when we look at one-time customers, we have 80 customers. So that means 80% of your customers only buy one time. And that's pretty wild, right? Because then we say, okay, what would it take for us to get them to come back? And this is the beginning of strategy, where you're actually speaking to these people and saying, what is the product that they would buy next? Is it more of the same or more other products? And by doing that, you're able to tailor your marketing to them. Then you can build a flow for them. And ultimately, this is how you increase your purchase frequency. This is where I would actually do offers for these people versus just having a 10% or a 20 or 30% for the whole site. Or even if you're doing a sale, you should run it to your one-time customers, because ultimately that's going to get them to come back and buy again. And they've already bought once, so you know that you've already paid to acquire this customer. Instead of trying to pay to acquire a new customer who's also going to be a one-time customer that doesn't come back and buy again, you should give that discount to the new customer. And essentially, if you're giving this discount to them, you're increasing the loyalty of your customer base. So the three hooks, or the three levers, are new customers, AOV, and returning customers, or order frequency essentially of your customers. And like I said, there's a free course that I put in the link below, in the description below, that I created to be bite-sized lessons that you will get over the course of a couple of months. But it just basically, you sign up for that and it gives you a playbook off of the bat with a bunch of the templates that I've used in the past to help brands, and it helps them to double their revenue. And it basically comes with a playbook step by step, and there's videos that walk you through everything. If you already don't know, the pinky promise is that I guarantee that I will hold nothing back in these videos. I'm giving you everything that I know about Shopify, about growing a brand between 350 to a million, and 350K a year and a million. And all I ever ask is that you let me know if this positively impacted you. My goal is to positively impact 2025 D2C marketers or Shopify store owners by the year 2025. And you can let me know by letting me know in the comments below. Until then, you can check out this video right here, because that video is the next one that the algorithm thinks that you should watch. Not that I think you should do everything the algorithm says, but that video is for you. Double or nothing. Peace.